done to me used to be out of reach. Feel like you're testing me, you're the necessity. Full court press on me. Don't fuck me up, don't let me down. You know I wanna be around. You tugging, warring with my heart. Didn't think it'd ever be so hard. Crazy, I'm letting down my guard. Don't fuck me up, don't let me down. Cause if it's love, I wanna drown. I need to hear it from you now. Can't wait no longer, tell me now. Don't fuck me up, don't let me down. If you really care for me, just make sure you're there for me. Feel I'm falling in too deep. That's okay, just rescue me. Let me know what you want from me. Open up, let me in and see, boy. I know where I wanna be. Just wanna know what your loving means. Oh, hook me up, don't let me down. Oh, yeah.
My distance, we don't do that evil lie, cause I'm already winning. Put your ego to the side, you might break through the ceiling. I had to level up, take a look at my loose ends and get them settled, yeah. Even if that means some friends will go get jealous, yeah. Working on my patience, still ain't got time for no fake shit and no hating. I don't know what to say, I'm in alignment, keeping it honest, feeling that vibe today. Gotta back this rising, perfect timing, don't overcomplicate. Let it flow. Flow, 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 flow. And it's rain on me, you tank on E, and I'm electrified. Doing the dash, all in my bag, really this world is mine. This time ain't no, 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 no. When life turns you inside out, you just gotta be reversible. When your head's in the sky now, don't forget about what the dirt will do. They
In the city, I know that it's killer be killed, eater be ate, snake to be snake. I walk out alone, but I'm clutching my drink, cause I know they ain't right and I know that they fake. And I'm trying to tour, but I know that these niggas be snitching and pointing me out to the jakes. When I gun at a nigga on aim for his waist, I'ma make sure he hit and stand over his face. Now they Texas, they mad cause they don't got no case in this first 48 and they ain't got no lead. While me and Lil Bro, we back smoking on trees. When you break down the wood with that bitch, now I'm lean. When I'm smoking your partner, I turn to a fiend. I ain't throwing the doobie, I'm facing the weed. When I'm smoking your partner, I turn to a fiend. I ain't throwing the doobie, I'm facing the blunt. No cap, let hummus some rats. When it's time to go kill, while black on the hunt. We do shit out movies, but this ain't a stunt. Wrong move, turn this bitch to a scene. I high off the shrooms and I mix it with beans. Wide awake, seeing shit from my dreams. Moving slow cause I'm full of the lean. Catch the boy lacking, turn here to some green. I'ma tell you the truth, I'm high as a bitch. I'ma lie to the judge cause I'm never asleep. I'm rapping and trapping till I'm old and rich. I'ma buy me some land and duck off with my bitch. Tryna sort out my price and get found in the ditch. With a face full of maggots, a hat full of mud. I don't care what you reppin', don't call me your blood. Put in work for the set, they gon' die by the cuz. Tryna get up your name, you gon' die by some buzz. I was just in the trenches, I know where I was. All it take is one Drake, man, them bitches went wild. I was down on my dick, I just still in our car. I pop a few bosses to send me to mall. When I woke up in jail, I had to take a little pause. You a change on your gang, I'll die for the cause. No cap, I'ma die for the cause.
Get back a motherfucker.
Hey y'all. What's up, babies? How y'all doing? It is Mrs. Madam C. Val. Big on the Mrs. Okay, baby. So I've been caught up on the YouTube grooving and moving and shrooving while I was doing my holy matrimonies and matrimonial duties. So then I left and I said, well, let me ground myself again and come back and speak to the people. So I had something playing in the background, and I want to share it with y'all because I thought it was funny. Now I got four, but I think I'm gonna just do three. Okay. So this is Louisiana Office of Probation and Parole. They had some parole hearings scheduled for today. Revocation hearing. Excuse me. So we're gonna watch it and we're gonna see. Y'all let me know what y'all think. We're gonna talk this shit out. So first we're going to Tangapahoa Parish. Okay. That's what we're gonna be. We in A City. Okay. And dude is going up for parole. That shit. Now this one, his name Clyde Williams Barker, and he got his revocation hearing. Like I said, so that means he was sentenced to. He was given parole. He was released from a sentence early and given parole, and then he did something and got violated, so they arrested him. He ain't gonna have no bond. He's gonna have to go before the parole board, and they're gonna either say whether or not he is revoked or released. Okay. So in Louisiana, you get the parole to finish your sentence. Okay.
Zach, Zach,
Now he wants the handcuffs out.
Zach. I gotta have these on. I gotta have these on.
He's funny to me.
I ain't nobody refusing to get no Clippers back now. I'm just saying why I gotta stay out of the handcuffs on.
I thought they knocked you out. Just skinning me.
I'm asking why I gotta stay out of the handcuffs on.
Yeah. Any water? You want me to get a water? You got it. Okay. I'm right back. I'm out. Just don't let them do all of the thinking out.
You look like you're trying to put
I'm
a
not.
pocket of
I
them.
can't do that. That's not. They usually it's back there, but.
Oh boy. Well, I know we're gonna take the license up on you. I'm on the phone with the full boy.
I know what you're going up here.
Big O, I don't know where you at, but this one for you, Will. You the one like this one. Here you go.
Good morning.
All right, good morning. Committee on Parole's call to order. Today is Thursday, October 24th, 2024. It's 8:52 a.m. My name is Cheryl Renatza, serving as chairman of the panel today. My colleagues on the panel seated to my left, Mr. Chucky Dillis, to my right is Mr. Danny Byron. Our first remote location this morning is at Tangipahoa Parish Jail. We are seated at DOC headquarters in Baton Rouge, and I'd like to have our staff please introduce yourself for the record.
985 Tangipahoa.
Thank you. And we have Mr. Baker. Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there any officer in the room with you, or are you by yourself?
I'm by myself.
Okay. So we're here for a revocation decision this morning. Did they leave any paperwork there with you? You got any paperwork with you?
Yes, ma'am. I left it in the dorm.
Okay, we're gonna put
Red flag number 2. All right, so look, I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna be quick, I'm gonna leave. But Clyde, Mr. Barker, first of all, he was trying to get out them fucking handcuffs. Second of all, he would not stay from off that fucking door. Okay, you are a prisoner, sir. Get your ass off that door. Then he come up in this bitch and he done left his paperwork in his dorm, at his bunk. Man, that man was trying to come up out of there. He was really thinking about escaping. That's what I think.
put up a form on the screen that you'll be able to see. It's a parole revocation questionnaire that you sign, and we want to be sure and verify that that's your signature on that paper. So just, it's coming up. You see that?
Yes, ma'am.
That's your signature dated September 24th, 2024 at the bottom.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Based on the information you provided during that questionnaire, you're not eligible for appointed counsel. So are you ready to proceed with your revocation hearing this morning?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I'll read the allegations against you, after which you'll enter a plea of guilty or not guilty. And then your case has been assigned to Mr. Tillis, seated to my left. So once we get your pleas entered, asking you some questions, you can provide any statement you like to him. Right?
Ma'am.
All right. So, well, give us your name, DOC number.
Clyde Baker, 397-205.
Is it Clyde Williams Baker?
It's Clyde Wilson Baker. Williams was my maiden name. My last name was changed.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna call you Mr. Clyde Baker.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Mr. Baker, you're accused of violating.
Wait, I was doing a post. So did you see how they looked at that boy on the replay? Did y'all see how they looked up when he said that's his maiden name? He had his last name changed. Would y'all mean if you would change your last name to your wife's last name? Let me know in the comments.
The conditions of your parole. Condition number 13, and there's two parts. The first one is we're going to call it 13A. You were found by probation and parole agents to be at 1215 Smith Square in Hammond, which is within 1,000 feet of Mooney Park, the Regina Child Development Center, Hammond Head Start, Elias Early Learning Center, and Hammond Junior High. How do you plead to violating that condition number 13?
Guilty.
So he was found, if y'all heard it or not, to be in violation of being around those schools in Hammond. So if y'all know a Hammond, that's around there where Candace is from. Okay. So it sounds like he gonna have some he ain't supposed to be around churn charges. You know what I'm talking about? So let's see how this goes.
And we're gonna take your statement in just a second. The second part of that is you were found in contact with 2 juvenile females by probation and parole agents on September 12th, 2024. How do you plead to that violation?
Not guilty.
Guilty? Okay.
He got
Would you answer Mr. Tillis' questions, please?
Doug, how did your husband feel
Baker,
about
how are you doing this morning?
I'm fine. How are you?
All right, I read your case. Tell me what happened. You were getting your hair cut or?
I just went over there to get my hair done for a job I had just got hired at. My hair is just like it is now. When they came arresting me, and Mr. Kennedy had called the phone, asked for me. He said that he was doing his routine check on his people, and he was checking on me. And I had let him know that I had just went over there to get my hair braided before I started the job that I had just got hired. And he said congratulations. And
babe, I was trying to zoom in on
he
this.
had asked me where I was, and I told him I was at Smith Square. And he said, okay. And then he asked me how I was, and I said I was all right. You know what I'm saying? He told me congratulations about the job and stuff. So a couple minutes later, he called back and asked what was the address. And that's when he just had pop up there, you know what I'm saying? And I was just going inside when he came there, you know what I'm saying? I was outside when he called, and Ms. Irma had brought me the phone. So when he came, he looked around. When he came, when he knocked on the door, Ms. Irma was on her way out the door because I had informed her of that if he was to come there, that I may get arrested because I ain't supposed to be around other kids. And she was like, well, she said I was gonna bring them by someone's house while she do my hair so I can go to work. And on the process of her going out the door, he was knocking on the door coming in. So when she opened the door, she met him at the door, and he stepped in. He asked for me, and I was on my way to the door to him. You know what I'm saying? They asked me to step outside. That's when they arrested me.
That's just what I read. Did you?
All right, so he told his story. He said he went to go get his hair done because he got out of jail, right? He made parole, had to be for something dealing with children. He was in violation, okay? He looked older than in his early 20s, so we won't say that it was a situation where they was just a couple of years older than each other, older than her or whatever. So he did something he had no business doing. He was the predator. He liked his cat young or bussy, we don't know. But anyway, they released him on parole, and he went to go get his hair done at somebody's house, and his PO called, right? Now, I don't know how his PO knew where he was, but when his PO called and he gave him the address to where he was, I'm quite sure his PO looked and seen that he was around those schools that they read at the beginning. So, hey, he knew he wasn't supposed to be in that vicinity.
You know you were not supposed to be around or within I think 1,000 feet of
Yes, sir. But it wasn't my intention to hang there. I just went there to go get my hair done because that was the closest spot I can get my hair done at the moment. And I wasn't planning on just being around there because I knew I wasn't supposed to be there. I just went there to go get my hair done for that moment.
I see. So you knew you weren't supposed to be there.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I have no questions. I have no questions.
All right. Anything else you want to say to us, Mr. Baker, before you die?
I was just asking that y'all, you know what I'm saying, be lenient with me. You know what I'm saying? For it being my first time, you know what I'm saying, and give me another chance to get out there and get myself together. Due to it being so soon, I was at home in a good 2 weeks, you know what I'm saying? And I was trying to equip myself to go through with my parole, the few months I had left on there.
Okay, we do have someone here. I'm sorry that your cousin is here with us. Irma Gales, I guess that's whose house you were at.
Yes, ma'am.
She wants to say a few words. Ms. Gales, are you on the line with us?
She said she was getting
Yes,
ready
ma'am.
to turn out the house.
Okay, go ahead and tell us what you'd
So
like
that's
us
the
to know.
I was just would like for you guys to know that he was working on himself. He had got a job and I was trying to help him. So I feel like that he were trying to better his situation. And I would like to ask for a second chance also.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. We appreciate you being
What y'all think? Irma Gill came up. She did any good?
How long had you been out?
Not even 2 weeks, like probably 11 days, 11 to 12 days.
About the job, you
Yeah, well, when they was arresting me, the boss man was calling my phone at the time, you know what I'm saying, telling, because I was supposed to be there for 3:30. He was calling to tell me to come in at 3 o'clock. And I was letting him know that I had a technical difficulty at the time, you know what I'm saying. I don't know if he was upset by being my first day and I was having an excuse not to come because I didn't tell him I was being arrested.
don't think you get your job back?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Because I had worked there once before, you know what I'm saying, a couple years back. And he told me once I got myself together and took care of my problems, you know what I'm saying, that, you know what I'm saying, he would like to hire me back.
So did your officer call Miss Irma's phone number?
Yes, ma'am, because that's when I got out, she wanted me to go do my intake. And that's the only, because I didn't have a phone at the moment. But when I did get my phone, I did call him with my number, but he said he must have misplaced it.
All right. Is the panel prepared to?
Yeah.
I have one more
Oh,
question.
okay.
I see that you're a fourth offender. Have you been through probation and parole revocation process before? How did you finish your other terms of supervision?
I did my time flat, and this what I didn't understand, but they was trying to explain to me that the charge that they supervising me on, this charge is 26 years old. I'm not on parole for the crimes of a juvenile. I don't 6 years ago. I did my time flat then. I never have been on parole.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
That's the only choice. What about what do you think? Guilty to before? You know, it's real bad, Mr. Williams. And in out 11 days, my vote's gonna be not to revoke.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to vote to revoke. I mean, the rules are very clear and you knew what the rules were. You just went ahead and violated them. I mean, it was plain and simple.
To Mr. Baker will vote to vote because you admitted to us today that you knew you wasn't supposed to be there. So you received one favorable vote, 2 votes to revoke your parole. So today your parole is being revoked. That concludes our business there. we'll sign off.
I am fucking checking on you cause I fucking care. If you were a fucking forest, I'd be Smokey the Bear. We haven't chatted for a minute and that's fucking fine, but you can bet your ass I'll check on you from time to time. Fucking hey, I wanna say like how the fuck are you? I want you to know that I am thinking about you, boo. I hope you're well, I hope you're swell, I hope you're fine and dandy. I hope your life is everything it motherfucking can be. I wanted to fucking give you a really quick reminder to fucking leave the toxic people and bullshit behind you. You are not defined by the mistakes that you have done. Forgive yourself cause it is healthy. Don't let anyone control your life. You have the right to get what you deserve. You just need the loving people that will put you first. Do not be so fucking mean and hard upon yourself. You have to try to live your life and fucking live it well. Carry on, I'm fucking done with what I have to say. I hope you have a super magnificent fucking day.
All right, good morning. The Committee on Parole is reconvening. We're now at Washita Parish Correctional Center. Can you hear us okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there anybody in the room there with you? Any staff?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we'd like to have the staff there introduce themselves for the record.
Good morning, Deputy Marshall.
Good morning, Deputy Marshall. Thanks once again for accommodating us this morning. And we have before us Mr. Hobbs.
Yes, ma'am.
You introduce yourself, sir. Tell us your name and DOC number.
William David Hobbs, 179339.
Yes, sir, Mr. Hobbs. That's what I have. Let me introduce the parole panel to you. I'm Cheryl Renatson. Seated to my left is Mr. Chucky Tillis. To my right is Mr. Danny Byron. We're here for a revocation decision this morning. Do you have a revocation questionnaire there in front of you?
Yes, ma'am.
That's your signature at the bottom of that page.
Yes, ma'am.
And based on the information, your answers to those questions, it was determined at that time you're not eligible for appointed counsel. Are you ready to proceed this morning?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. I'm going to read the allegations against you. You'll enter a plea of guilty or not guilty, and then I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Tillis because your case has been assigned to him.
Yes,
So you're accused of violating the conditions of your parole, specifically condition number 2, and it states you failed to report to your officer since April of 2020. Your whereabouts were unknown until your arrest on October 16, 2020. After your arrest on October 16, 2020, you absconded supervision again and your whereabouts were unknown until your arrest December 7, 2021. How do you plead to violating condition number 2?
well, ma'am, I'm guilty of that.
Okay, so you can vote. Plead guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Guilty with a statement?
Yes, ma'am.
So we'll take your statement in a moment.
Okay.
Finish with the pleas first. Then we have condition number 4, and it states October 16, 2020, you committed the offense of driving while intoxicated, third offense. It was determined that your blood alcohol content was 0.13, which is over the legal limit. On August 23rd, 2024, the charge was dismissed. How do you plead to violating number 4?
Well,
Guilty?
Guilty.
Okay, with a statement?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you answer Mr. Tillis's questions, please?
Hi, morning. How are you, Mr. Williams?
All right, sir. How you?
Good. Would you elaborate on the first one? What happened? Why weren't you me hooking up with your parole officer? What was the problem?
Well, sir, I did do that until this happened. I knew I would be the scapegoat of this. I reported till October that this happened. The other man jumped out of that truck and run. I have all kind of lies against me and have one right here to prove it. But I knew that would be pinned on me, and I kept paying y'all, hoping one day I would run into the guy that was actually driving that truck. And I did, and I had the toughest DA here in town. And if I was guilty of all that, she would have never dismissed that charge. But I did abscond because I was scared. I'm not going to lie to you at all. That I'd have to go back. Now I'm in end-stage COPD, sir. I'm just asking to go home and be on hospice with a monitor, and I won't ever give any trouble again. That's all I'm asking for.
Okay. What about the charges of driving intoxicated?
Yes, sir. I was charged with that. It was dismissed. Would the man come forward with his affidavit?
So you were not.
No, sir. I was in the passenger seat of that truck. That store clerk, we had a heated argument about 2 or 3 months earlier. And he relied on me profusely. I wasn't in any woods. They said I escaped the hospital, and here's my discharge papers and everything. But I did run, sir. I'm guilty of that. Like I say, Miss Shirley M. Wilson Davis would have never dropped that charge if I'd have been guilty. There's no way I would have went to trial on that. She's one of the strictest DAs here in Ouachita Parish.
I see.
Just let me go. I'll go catch up on these fees, get on a monitor, and sir, I'm really in bad shape. My whole bone from disease is done swole out here. I'd be glad to wear a monitor. I'm 61, weigh 125 pounds. I'll just go home and die if you would be so gracious just
Did
to
you
let
say
me
his
do
balls
that.
were swollen?
I am guilty of being charged with all that. I really am. I'm just asking for one chance. I've seen other people here get 2 chances. I just want one to die with my family, sir. That's all. It would really be defeating your purpose to send me there for 5 years when I'm in a smoke-filled environment. I'm not going to live that long. That's why I'm in end stage right here. And Miss Donna Norman that works here can verify that I'm in a bad way. Like I said, I am guilty. Just one chance for that monitor, and you'll never hear a peep out of me, sir. I just want to die at home. That's all. If I wasn't in such a bad shape, I wouldn't be begging you, sir. But my family's got $10,000 attorney fees. He lives right here on the south side of town, and I need to give that back, sir, please. And you wouldn't only be helping me, you'd be helping my family.
I see.
I'm not going to give any trouble.
Mr. Barra.
You're currently on supervision for DWI 4th offense. And then you're driving or allegedly driving after that.
Yes, sir. I shouldn't have been drinking.
And you still want us to give you a chance?
Yes, sir.
Okay. No question. More.
You mentioned you want a second chance, but Mr. Hodge, you're classified as a 7th felony offender.
Yes, ma'am. I'm talking about the second chance on parole. Well, ma'am, I don't want to be smart or anything with you, but Melvin Tipton and Jack Robertson have been here since I've been in here. They got 2 chances to be released back out of a parole violation.
You're
What I mean by the second
listen,
chance.
I don't want to talk about anybody else but William Hodge.
Right. Okay.
Not that boy
How long
coming
you
up
been
with a
in
list
jail?
of names of people who
3
got more
years.
than one chance. He said, let him go home and die.
Anything else you want to say?
No, ma'am.
Very good.
He drunk than a bitch right now. Okay? He drunk than a bitch.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to be voting now, Mr. Hobbs. Mr. Tillis will be voting first.
My vote is to revoke. You said you pled guilty to these charges, and my vote's gonna be to revoke.
Mr. Byron.
I vote also to revoke.
It's unfortunate, Mr. Hobbs. I do agree with my colleagues. My vote today is to revoke your parole.
Do y'all drink? You don't mind when I get out, I'll come and have a big old drink with you.
We're that concludes our business in Washington. Sign off.
I'll get out.
Nigga!
Nigga!
Blame it all on her rules. She showed me her boobs and flashed her cooter my way. But I could tell by the stink coming off of her taint, she hadn't washed that thing in days. You should have seen the surprise and the fear in my eyes as she sat down on my face. And I cried for help twice and nobody came. I can't believe I'm dying this way. Now I got cooter sitting on my face, and I can't get rid of that awful taste. Lord help me, please. Get her off of me. Well, she got up and I can start to breathe. I told her don't come back until that cooter's clean. Now all I need.
All right, Committee on Parole
is some list of
reconvening. We're now at St. Landry Parish Jail. Is there any staff in the room with you, Mr. Jones? There we go. Yes, we'd like the officer, please introduce yourself for the record.
Yes, ma'am. Deputy Gettings with St. Landry.
All right, thanks for helping us out this morning.
Yes, ma'am.
We have Mr. Jones. Would you introduce yourself? Tell us your name and DOC number.
I'm Trayvon Jones. I don't know my DOC number.
All right, well, hold on. Let's see.
780-962.
See his
780962.
It's 780-962.
All right, good. She gave it to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. That's what we have. Do you have let me introduce us to you. My name is Cheryl Renatza. This is Mr. Chucky Tillis, Mr. Danny Byra. We are your parole panel this morning. We're here for a revocation decision. Do you have your parole revocation questionnaire there with you?
Question.
We're gonna put it up on the screen. Just stand by. We're gonna put it up for you.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to confirm that you signed that piece of paper. All right, you see that?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that your signature down at the bottom of that page? September of this year?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. Based on the information in that questionnaire, it was determined at that time you're not eligible for appointing counsel. So are you ready to proceed today?
Yes, ma'am. I'm gonna be able to speak on my behalf.
Yes. I'll tell you how it's gonna work. I'm gonna read the allegations against you. You'll enter a plea of guilty, guilty with a statement, or not guilty. And then Mr. Tillis will be asking you some questions, and at the end, you'll be allowed to make a statement if you'd like.
Yes, ma'am.
So you're accused of violating your conditions of parole, specifically condition number 3. It says you failed to get the permission of your parole officer prior to moving from your listed address 1440 Ann Street in Eunice. How do you plead to violating condition number 3?
I'm guilty.
We have condition number 5, and it reads, you were involved in criminal activity on or about December 15, 2023 by having a possession of a firearm that you subsequently gave to another subject that committed a murder with that said firearm. August 29, 2024, the grand jury returned a no true bill, and therefore the state moved to dismiss the charge on St. Landry docket 2400269, at which point the court ordered that the charges be dismissed. So how do you plead to violating condition number 5?
Not guilty.
We have condition number 10, and it says you failed to provide proof that you gained or attempted to gain employment during your term of supervision. How do you plead to number 6?
Guilty.
And the last one is condition number 10, about your fees. You failed to make payments toward your supervision fees, and you are in arrears $693. How do you plead to violating number 10?
Guilty.
Okay, thank you. Would you answer Mr. Till's questions, please?
Mr. Jones, on the first charge, number 3,
So down there in the 337, where they say that baby, there's Cajun country down there, them light skinned folk, mixed breed, whole lot of mulatto shit going on. So sound like he had went to jail because they say he passed somebody a gun or something. He had a violation. He criminal charges, you know. It ain't nothing childlike like the first one. And he ain't drunk and shit like and dying like the last one. Trayvon. So you know he got a little Negro in him, okay? Trayvon want to get out, and he represent himself, okay? I think y'all would like this one, because to me it gets really, really, really fucking funny. Watch Trayvon go.
do you have a good working relationship with your parole officer?
I talked to him once over the phone. I never, when I call, he wouldn't answer. When I call, he'll answer and he'll be busy or something. And that's when I got in touch. Well, Miss Angela got in touch with my mom, and that's where I started conversating when then she came visit me.
Okay, so you never told him that you were moving?
No, I mean, whenever I gave Miss Angela the address, the new address, and I told her I was gonna be living at that address with my father.
Okay. On the charge number 5, you said you were not guilty on this charge. You want to talk about that?
Which one it is? Read it to me again.
You were involved in a criminal activity on or about 12/15/2023 by having possession of a firearm.
Not guilty.
I mean, it wasn't your gun?
That wasn't mine. That wasn't mine.
It was not in your possession?
Not in my possession.
Okay. And what about your employment?
I mean, it was kind of hard for me in unit. I tried at a few places, Wendy's, McDonald's, but it's hard. It was hard for me with the background, the charge that I plead out to when I first came to jail.
So that's one of the reasons why you're in the rear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I have no more questions.
Mr. Bauer?
Yeah, also under condition number 5, that we're talking about when you got into a confrontation with the correctional staff, you had a shank fall out of your pants onto the floor, and that you claimed that you had that shank for your personal protection.
Protection. Yes, sir.
What was the problem? Why did you need protection in jail? Why did you feel you had to have a shank?
I mean, well, when they took me out of 3D, they placed me in an environment where in a dorm to they knew I had enemies and they still placed me and another deputy I had got into it. We started sharing words or whatever, and he put me in the dorm out of being like ugly or whatever. He put me out in there out of being ugly. And on the camera, they watched us get into it and came in and told me like, if y'all fight, you going to lockdown. So they watched me on camera get into it. Multiple enemies, not one, multiple, and still ain't come take me out of there. So I felt I wasn't safe. I wasn't safe. I was placed in an environment of violence.
All right. Also says that you kicked one of those deputies in the face when he was trying to restrain you in the chair. Is that the same deputy that did you wrong with the lockup, or someone different?
It was someone different.
Why did you think you needed to kick him in the face? What is he doing to you?
I didn't kick him. I didn't kick him in his face.
Okay. That's the only questions I had.
You want to say anything to us? What else would you like us to know?
I'm like my situation is messed up, but I'm saying I got something I can read to y'all and let y'all know like what's going on or whatever.
Okay.
Listen at him.
I say the charges we're talking about, I'm innocent until proven guilty. I refuse to violate myself, so therefore I feel like I cannot be revoked. I'm with the charges I am charged with until I am proven guilty of them. The charges I am accused of are misdemeanors, and I'm talking about the jail, like the jail charge, the battery of a police officer. And that I didn't get charged with that. I didn't get charged with none of them. And well, I looked it up and it said there was 2 misdemeanors, 6 months. There's 6 months on like both of them. But when I came to my last thing, they said that they had statements or whatever saying of me passing something. But I said in the thing, I said a statement about the gun is hearsay, inadmissible into a court of law. The state was also made as a part of an accusation which has since been dropped, therefore making the statement lack of integrity. The 2 misdemeanor charges are jail charges. I was placed in an atmosphere of violence, surrounded by criminals and illegal activity for a crime which I have been since acquitted of. I would never have been involved in criminal activity if I would not have been falsely held in a jail for a crime I didn't commit. So I felt like I feel like my parole. I should be given another chance, and my parole shouldn't be violated because I understand I didn't pay. I understand I ain't paid, but my family not the best. I ain't got the best family or whatever. I was just coming home. I ain't know a lot of stuff with my mom. My mom was struggling or whatever. I ain't know what was going on. And then when I got out there, a lot of stuff wasn't expected how I thought it was. And I just said, I got a few more words to say, and then I'm done. I say I did not have, And then this another thing about them two so said battery of an officer and the shank or whatever. I was held in a hole. I went to the disciplinary board or whatever, and I got 15 days already. So I felt like why could that be used against me? I was punished already and sentenced or whatever. And like I was just saying like this. Like, if y'all feel like I'm involving myself in criminal activity or whatever, I'll take house arrest or whatever. I just want to get back to my family.
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
No, you're being held in jail on a parole hold.
Yes, ma'am.
It's alleged you violated the conditions of your parole.
Yes, ma'am.
Saying you're being held for something you didn't do.
No, like when I first came to jail, if they said that I did that, why they didn't come at the time and try to violate me so I could have got that out of the way or whatever? Because I don't got no participation in none of that. I never participated in no criminal activity.
And somebody saw you hand off a gun.
As a statement said somebody saw me handing off a gun. I never handed nobody no gun. I never handed nobody no gun.
It was more than one person.
But I'm trying to see, they dismissed the charges, so how can that be used against me?
Because your conditions of parole say you can't possess a firearm.
They dropped the charges. I never possessed the firearm.
That has nothing to do with it. All right, I think we're ready to vote. Mr. Tillis?
My vote is to revoke.
Mr. Byron?
I'm gonna concur with Mr. Tillis. Probable cause was found on all of the violations at the preliminary hearing.
And I do agree. I find him guilty of violating conditions number 3, 5, 6, and 10. So today, Mr. Jones, your parole's being revoked.
I mean, I can't be given no tag.
St. Landry, we're gonna sign off at 9:39.
Yes, ma'am.
Hang on, yeah.
They cut that boy off. They cut that boy off. Revoked that boy. He mad. That man ain't did shit he was supposed to do though. That man ain't did a damn thing he was supposed to do. That boy know he was gone. That boy know he was gone, man. That commercial breaking this the last one. I know, let me go see. Oh, I don't know, let me go see. Okay. Yeah, he's stupid. He's stupid. He's stupid. Let's see. I was gonna play a song. Yep, there's one of them.
Tell you a little bit about me. I'ma say what I wanna say, and I'ma do what I wanna do. The only thing that I ask for y'all is don't bother me, and I promise I won't bother you, and I think we'll be okay as long as you stay out my way, and you can feel how you wanna feel. I'm just being real, but I will not let you ruin my day. I'ma do what I wanna do.
Oh yeah, and Otto.
Good morning. Committee on Parole is
let me say this. In Louisiana, Otto, house arrest, right, according to the Louisiana legislature, it depends on how much time he was sentenced to, because house arrest as a sentence, there's a time restraint on the max time you could do on house arrest as a sentence for a felony and for a misdemeanor. So if he was given, like, let's say 10, 15 years, he couldn't get house arrest, even if he got paroled out after 18 months or something. He couldn't get house arrest for the remainder of his sentence. Not in the state of Louisiana, not down here in them parishes. He can't do it. Okay, here you go. The next nigga. This Ronald Jr. Wilson. Ronald Wilson Jr. He in Orleans Parish down there in New Orleans, baby. That 504, not to be confused with that 337. They accents actually a lot alike. 337, the last nigga was just a little lighter because it's up further north than Orleans Parish. But this our last one, y'all. This the last revocation hearing of today. Let's see.
Convening, we're now at Orleans Parish Prison on Thursday, October 24th, 2024. It is 9:43 a.m. And Mr. Wilson, is that you?
Yes.
Good morning. Would you introduce yourself? Tell us your name and DOC number.
Ronald Wilson, Ron Joseph Wilson. My DOC number is 569009.
All right, and let me introduce the parole panel to you, Mr. Wilson. My name is Cheryl Renatza. Excuse me, seated to my left, Mr. Chucky Tillis, and to my right is Mr. Danny Byron. We're here for a revocation decision. Do you have a parole? Do you have any paperwork there with you? Yes, that's a parole revocation questionnaire. Is that your signature on the bottom of that page?
Yes, ma'am.
And that is an indicator that you're not eligible for appointed counsel this morning. Are you ready to proceed?
Yes.
Okay. Your mother, Ms. Valentine, is trying to dial in and she wants to speak on your behalf. So we'll ask her to do so whenever she gets in. First, I'm going to read the violations against you. After which you'll enter a plea of guilty with a statement, or not guilty. And then Mr. Barra will be asking you some questions.
Okay.
Okay. So you're violating condition number 4, and it states you committed new criminal conduct of simple assault, battery upon a dating partner, and theft in New Orleans on or about July 20th, 2024. The charges were refused August 15, 2024, under Orleans Magistrate Docket 613-088. How do you violate condition number 4?
I'm sorry.
How do you plead to that violation?
Not guilty.
Not guilty. And there's condition number 10. You've not submitted payments as scheduled. You're currently in arrears over $505. How do you plead to violating number 10?
Guilty.
All right. Thank you. And I see that we have Ms. Valentine in now. Good morning, Ms. Valentine. Good
morning.
You want to speak on his behalf?
Yes.
Okay, now's the time to do that.
Yes, my son did not do this violation. I have text messages and I've had conversations with Miss Lawson stating that she did it out of anger and she overreacted. She sent stuff to his parole officer stating the same, and text messages sent me screenshots of that. And you know, I just can't understand how he's sitting in here for something that he didn't actually do. She's admitted that. That's why it wasn't even accepted by the DA.
Thank you for that information. We will we'll begin our interview with Ronald. Mr. Wilson, would you answer Mr. Barra's questions?
Yeah.
Looking at the reports and the documentation in this case, it looks like probable cause was found to believe that you did hit her at the preliminary hearing held based on the details in the police report. And one of the key details that sticks out to me out of the police report is that Officer Daniels arrived on scene and noticed redness and swelling to the left side of Miss Lawson's face. So how did she get redness and swelling on the side of her face, and what happened that night? What's your version of what happened that night?
I was never like nowhere in her presence. I was by like me and Ms. Lawson got a child together, and I also have a child with my other baby mama. They're like around the same age, and they don't get along. And she was mad at the fact that I wasn't coming by her. I was by my other child mom or whatever. Which I never knew nothing about the police report until the day I was arrested. I never knew she had called the police that day. I was by mother house or whatever. She was calling my phone and I wasn't answering the phone. She texted my phone saying she was gonna show me and all that, and I never replied to her or whatever. So after like where it was like probably like 2-3 weeks later, that's when I wound up going by her house. I never knew she called the police and made up no story about me slapping her in her face, nothing like that. I never knew. I would have never went over there by her or whatever. And the day of the incident, when she called the police and she said we was driving in a car or whatever, and I raised my hand like I was gonna hit her, but I didn't hit her. I was never in a car with her. She wound up leaving the house or whatever because she knew my child's birthday, the same child who mom was by that night. When she called the police, she knew my child's birthday was the next day on the 21st. And she didn't want me to go around her, like didn't want me to go around her at all. So she was like she was mad with her, so she wound up leaving the house or whatever, because she said, because I told her I was going to go to the party or whatever, and I told her I was about to leave, so she said, wait, hold up, so she wound up leaving the house. Next thing you know, the police knocking on the door. I'm like, and then just caught me by surprise, like, I'm wondering what they knocking on the door, what they looking for me for.
Well, you said a lot right there, but basically what I'm understanding is that you're saying you wasn't even there and you never touched her.
No, yeah, I never touched her. I never touched her. The day when she was like, I slapped her in her face, I never knew nothing about that. Never knew nothing about her calling the police or none of that. I would have never like went around her after that.
And I know at the preliminary hearing, you heard the details of what she alleged about you coming home, the mail's number across the thing, she laughed, you slapped her. You heard all those things that they said, right?
I heard all that.
Saying that you never even were in the house and everything right there is made up?
That's made up.
That's what you're saying, all of it, everything?
Yes.
Okay, and then back to my original question. How do you think she got the bruising and the redness that the officer saw when he got there on her face? It looked like she had been slapped.
I have no idea. I didn't slap her.
All right. That's the only questions I had.
Still any questions?
No.
Anything else you want to tell us, Mr. Wilson?
That's all. Bitch, she don't get along. She don't like me spending time with her child or being around my baby mama. That's the only I have to say.
Why are you behind on?
Again,
Why are you behind on your fees?
I was working to get the money up, whatever. I had wound up going to have surgery or whatever, and the money I did help. I wanted to help my mom with the bills or whatever. And I figured when I had time to double back and pay it or whatever.
What's your relationship with Miss Lawson now?
That's just the mother of my child. I don't have no relationship with her, like as far as like me and her, we just have a child together.
Wrong answer, wrong answer.
I think we're ready to vote.
I got one more question before we vote. I'm looking at your record, and right now, the parole that you're currently on as a third felony offender, you're on for resisting an officer with violence, criminal negligent discharge of a firearm, domestic abuse, child endangerment, threat of a firearm, domestic abuse battery, strangulation, and domestic abuse aggravated assault with a dangerous weapon. With those charges, was Miss Lawson
No,
victim in any of those?
no.
It was a whole totally different person?
It was my child mom who she don't like. That's who that was.
Other child's mom
Yeah.
that you got a good relationship with now?
Yeah, we talking now. We good.
So you done beat that bitch up too.
Okay. Oh, we're ready.
Yeah, we're ready to go. Mr. Barrow?
Well, Mr. Wilson, I'm gonna have to vote to revoke your parole today based on the probable cause being found at the prior preliminary hearing and the testimony in the statement of the police officer of what he found and saw.
Mr. Tillis?
I concur with Mr. Barrow.
Mr. Wilson, I hear what you're saying. I hear what your mother's saying, but again, as Mr. Barra has indicated, there was probable cause found. So my vote today also is to revoke. Find you guilty of violating the conditions of your parole. Today, your parole is being revoked. That concludes our business in Orleans. It's 9:53.
It's over with. It's over. And then they be leaving them on there. So that's it. That's all I got for y'all today. Okay. We done went to 4 different parishes in Louisiana. We done went to Mississippi. We done went to Monroe. We done went to Opelousas. And we done went to New Orleans. Okay. And all 4 of them motherfuckers got re-fucking-voked. Okay. Revoked. We done had some pedophilia. He likes some young, can't be around children. We done had the drunk mind that's dying. You understand me? Then we had the Leslie daddy, Trayvon. He was his own lawyer. He bunked with a celly that he a prison lawyer. He said, but they ain't teach that boy how to read. That boy don't get now fucks. Okay. Then we had the tale of the 2 baby mamas, the nigga that like to fuck bitches, have babies, and whoop their ass. All of them were revoked. They set your dumb ass up with that fucking. Why you think Louisiana got more fucking people in the prison system? They didn't stay inside the jail. They stayed in the prison system. That means somewhere in these motherfucking parishes, bitch, they got you fucked up. And you ain't got no choice. Okay? So it be a little different. You understand me? That's why we able to go everywhere else and be O-the-fuck-K, because if you was born and bred where they hold you down like this, and you finally actually get the courage, or you was blessed enough to have people in other places and you were able to see outside of Louisiana when you were younger or some shit, they get stuck and fucked. Unfortunately. Y'all be cool.
In the city, I know that it's kill or be killed, eat or be ate, snake to be snake. I walk all alone, but I'm clutching my drink, cause I know they ain't right and I know that they fake. And I'm trying to tour, but I know that these niggas be snitching and pointing me out to the jakes. When I gun at a nigga on aim for his waist, I'ma make sure he hit and stand over his face. Now they tell you they mad cause they don't got no case in this first 48 and they ain't got no leads. While me and Lil Bro, we back smoking on trees. When you break down the wood with that bitch, now with lean. When I'm smoking your partner, I turn to a fiend, I ain't throwing the doobie, I'm facing the whip. When I'm smoking your partner, I turn to a fiend, I ain't throwing the doobie, I'm facing the blunt. No cap, let hummus some rents. When it's time to go kill while black on the hunt. We do shit our movies, but this ain't a stunt. Wrong move, turn this bitch to a scene. I high off the shrooms and I mix it with beans. Wide awake, seeing shit from my dreams. Moving slow cause I'm full of the lean. Catch the boy lacking, turn here to some green. I'ma tell you the truth, I'm high as a bitch. I'ma lie to the judge cause I'm never asleep. I'm rapping and trapping till I'm old and rich. I'ma buy me some land and duck off with my bitch. Tryna sort on my price and get found in the ditch. With a face full of maggots and half full of mud. I don't care what you reppin', don't call me your blood. Put in work for the set, they gon' die by the cuz. Tryna get up your name, you gon' die by some bugs. I was just in the trenches, I know where I was. All it take is one Drake, man, them bitches went walk. I was down on my dick, I just still in our car. I'll pop a few bosses and send me to Mars. When I woke up in jail, I had to take a little pause. You a change on your gang, I'll die for the cause. No cap, I'ma die for the cause.
They get back a motherfucker.